first of all, let us say thank you very much for joining us here today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me today.
And just to give a bit of background, obviously known you and Just for many, many years, from the time you guys started dating.
Actually, I knew you before I met Just.
Yeah, when you
Junior
were
Top Sport days.
Top
when I was doing
sports
presenting.
presenter.
Remember those days.
And obviously a fledgling music career. I told you that those songs you probably have to change and do other ones.
You did. You said, Amore, jy moet net Afrikaans sing, jy moet goed sing, jy moet die woorde reg kry.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go. And then obviously was honoured to be at the wedding as the MC there.
And you were undoubtedly one of the best MCs ever.
Well, thank you very much.
At any wedding.
Thank you very much. Well,
I would highly recommend you.
There was just so much about both of you guys as well. It makes life a lot easier when it comes to doing things like that. But I think let's just clear one thing up first of all, immediately. You did not do the Posh and Bex tag for yourselves.
No, I didn't. In fact, you know, you hear a lot of people, with all due respect, people say, you know, they put themselves in the situation. She and him called themselves the Posh and Bex. We never did. We got together, we fell in love, we got married. We read in the newspapers, the Posh and Bex of South Africa. We never created that perception, but the perception out there is that we said that of ourselves, which never was the case. I would never go out and want to be someone else for that matter. This is who I am, this is what I want to do. And I look up to people, but it's not like I want to be like someone at all. And surely yours too. So, yep, it does put a bit of a spin in the works when people kind of, you know, make up things because they read something and assume that you had said it.
But you can understand it though, because obviously Posh and Bex were sort of the huge international icons, and South Africa were kind of looking at you guys going, well, both from a celebrity background.
It was because of the sport and the music, and it was the same alignment. You know, I was on the top of my career. I was doing, I was on TV at the time doing the Lotto presenting show. And you know, he was doing extremely well. So at the time when we got together, you know, I was doing what I loved, he did what he loved, and it happened to be in the same line as the Posh and Bex. So I suppose that's where it comes from.
It was understandable.
It was never ever.
Did it irritate you?
It did.
Both of you?
Yes, it did.
Is it? Because, I mean, immediately when you get that tag, a scrutiny on your lives, and this is probably where all this comes from, immediately you know that everyone is going to be watching. We've got about 6 cameras here already at the moment filming. So, scrutiny on your lives from that day onwards, did you have any idea?
No, I didn't. In fact, I think partly, part of the mistake was us, you know, agreeing to do too many covers, probably at first, as a couple, exposing our house, you know, radio, I mean TV shows, Top Billing for example, would phone and say, we'd like to do an interview, can we come to your house? I'm a very open person, I'm a spontaneous person, what you see is what you get, and just as well, we invite people, we love entertaining, but there is a certain cut-off line that we had to have learned over the past few months, and we realized that independently, we are independent in our own right. I do what I do, he does what he does. And somewhere along the line, it became one person. So it wasn't about Amor, what she does, or here's what he does. It was about the couple. Everywhere you went was about the couple, the couple, the couple. And that's what happened. And it's partly our fault. But then when you go out together as a couple. You attend functions, you do those kind of things. I'm in this because I know I'm going to be criticized. I do what I do because I love what I do. I sing, I get up on stage, I enjoy it, I love it. And I know I'm going to be criticized, be good or bad. And I know I've got to take it. But there is a certain privacy line. You know, if you start digging into my financial situation and asking what underwear she's going to wear and which schools the kids go to, that for me is really private. I didn't ask for that.
So that line is very blurred though when you do get to the status, and there's always that debate about as soon as you say yes to so many magazine covers and so many publicity shots, people, you kind of do have a choice of how private you want to be, but as soon as you say yes to that, you're kind of blurring those lines a little bit.
And we also did let, you know, we also said no to a couple of magazines. Obviously, last year we actually took a year off where we actually only did one magazine together. The perception out there is that we did a whole lot, but we didn't. The last one was when Kylie was 1 year old, and we had a certain magazine at our venue. And again, you know, they did a story about Kylie's first birthday, and after that I had to read about the fact that how spoiled my child is. You know, and all these gifts that get given to her and all that, but, you know.
But where do you cut it off though, Amor? Because I mean, the thing is, and before we just get to the news, one more question on that side is, where do you cut it off? Because the intense public scrutiny is probably very important from the point of view of, and particularly now, this is where US now sort of steps out of the rugby public eye. He's retired, he starts going into the media side. So, yeah, for him, appearances and things like that, that's where the real money is. From your side, though, it's about CD sales, it's about picking up the gigs, it's about doing the gigs. Is that important? Is there that sort of balance that you have to say, well, look, if I pull myself out of the public eye, I'm not going to get as many gigs, I'm not going to do as many appearances, I'm not going to make as much money.
Yeah.
Is it difficult to balance that?
You know what, it's a choice that you make. For us, it's never really, for me personally, it's never been about the money per se. It's nice to make it, it's nice to, you know, you can do a lot with money and you can give it away and you can, but at the same time, for me, it's about success. For me, it's about achieving things in life. And I've always, you know me, from a little girl, I've always said I wanted to achieve, I wanted to make an album. And from a business angle, record companies want you to sell because you've got a product out there. And if you don't sell, you don't get another recording contract. So you need to get out there and perform and enjoy what you do. Of course I do. Obviously, you're out there, you're on stage, people are talking about you, perceptions are out there. People can decide not to book you. We live in a country where, you know, we tour the country. I sing Afrikaans, I do English music, I sing South African music. It's hard to put yourself out there and also take yourself back. It's hard to say no to something and say, no, I wouldn't like to do this cover because it's not about the album. If they, you know, we've been offered a lot of offers in the last couple of months saying, please talk about the situation. No, I don't want to talk about the situation. I don't want to talk about it. It's a private thing. Yes, it's out there, but there is a certain cut-off line. Yes, but we will pay you for it. No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, but if you do that, we will talk about your album. No, I'm not going to sell my soul for that.
Well, lots has transpired since then, and obviously the book is out as well now. So we'll be chatting to you about life now and life over the last 8 months and what it's been like for you, because you have been very low-key in the whole thing, and understandably why as well, but we'll be finding out about that, also how it's affected your career, if at all, and where to from here. That's all coming up. Amore Vittone on the Just Plain Breakfast this morning. It's already gone 7:30.